we are recording, and now we are live. So,
So I'm officially live on the Alex Perez show now.
yep.
Oh man, I'm famous. What's
So
going on, buddy? How's the weather down there?
it's 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 sup- it's supposed to be even even colder tonight because it we're supposed to be having like a cold snap.
Yeah, I saw online that they said watch out for iguanas falling out of trees down there.
So
It's gonna be so cold.
so so welcome to the show. Nice to have you.
Hey,
Um
I'm happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
um so what do you actually what do you actually do when you're ice fishing? Tell my audience what that's about.
All right, I will. So the main goal is to catch fish bigger than this one that I just caught. Little baby red ear. It's a hybrid bluegill. Well, down there they have them. They're called shell crackers. They introduced them here in Michigan in the late '80s, early '90s as a trophy panfish. This lake that I'm on's got a lot of big ones. Uh, so pretty much ice fishing. I mean, I'm sure all you Florida people think we're nuts. We come out here, we drill a hole in the ice. We're on about 10 inches of ice. So we have this auger over here, which has got a drill attached to it. And that's how I cut my holes. And then this bucket that I'm sitting on is pretty fancy. It's got a fish finder on it. So it helps to know the depth, weeds, structure. And then tells me if there's fish down there. And then we use these little tiny rods. This one's 20 inches from top to bottom. I made it myself. And then let me show you what we use for bait. These little tiny baits. These little microscopic jigs tipped with some spikes. They also run these little flies above it.
Kind, kind of like what they use to go fishing down down here in Florida, right?
Yeah, but the only difference is the fish we're catching here through the ice, you guys would use for bait. I mean, we're catching like a big bluegill would be about 10 inches. Most people are happy with anything from 7 and up. And so, I mean, and we also go for crappie, which they're well known. They're called, specks, is what a lot of people call them, especially down south. And we go for crappies. We also go pike spearing. So I'll have to send you some pictures or video when I do that next. We cut a huge hole in the ice, like 3 foot by 4 foot, and then put some decoys down. Then when the pike come in, we just pull out a spear and stab them.
Are are those fish? Do they get even bigger
Oh yeah,
than?
they get big. They get legally they have to be over 24 inches. They can get anywhere up to 40, 45 inches long, 20 plus pounds, 30 pounds. They get huge. And they're a predator fish. They got teeth. They eat what I'm fishing for right now. And it's not uncommon for me to catch pike while I'm fishing for panfish. They'll come in and hit my bait and then usually break off, but good little fight for a minute.
And for my audience that doesn't know you,
Yep.
tell them a little bit about yourself. Um,
My name is Justyn Gafford. Been ice fishing since I was a kid. 33, going on 34. I've been ice fishing, like I said, since I was knee high, going out with my cousins and my uncles and all that stuff. Worked for the railroad. Met Alex down at Stoneroo at John Stone's ranch. What was it, 2 years ago now? Yeah, it was 2 years ago. Well, this September will be 2 years.
Which
And
which I'm very sad that John is not gonna have it this year. But
so am I, but I mean, he's doing it for the best. I mean, he's working out kinks and getting the power all situated and the drainage, so that way it's a more enjoyable time for everybody when he does have it. And so we'll just have to wait until 2023. And in the meantime, we'll have to meet up and do a little something, man.
yep. Um. Um. Did you tell me that you're working on a little get together, a little mini?
Yeah, I'm planning on. I mean, I'm going to reach out to people, do some talking, see what everybody wants to do. I mean, even if it's just a handful of us, go down to Nashville or something, go see John and Benny and all those guys and hang out for a night or two. That'd be kind of cool.
Yep.
Instead of waiting another year, so we could all get together and get to have some fun.
And I would like to to go down there and party with you. Doesn't
Oh, heck yeah, man. We always have a good time when we're hanging out.
so so anyway, back to the fish. Um,
Mm-hmm.
how many fishes can you catch if it's not so cold like it is here?
Yeah, like our limit, our daily limit on panfish here in Michigan is 25 fish. That's a combination between crappie and bluegills and sunfish, panfish, and we can keep 25 a day, which is well over enough for a meal. I usually only like to keep about 15 for myself, especially if I'm fishing a lake that I frequent a lot. That way I'm not taking more than I need. And that's about it. Pike, it's 2 a day. They got a whole bunch of different regulations, but for the most part in the wintertime, panfish is one of the number one target species besides walleye. But then walleye, you got to get out on bigger water like Lake Erie, on the Great Lakes, and you're going out miles. I mean, today I walked over a mile to this spot, and when I called you, I literally just started fishing. I've caught about 3 so far since I've been on the phone with you. I'm moving around trying to find them. Nothing big, nothing to really show off.
Have you won any competitions doing what do you do or
Yeah, I've won, shoot, couldn't tell you, a whole bunch of local derbies, small little local events. I fished a couple national events, didn't place in the money, just outside the money. Competed against some of the top guys in the world, and then some very talented fishermen. The last couple years, kind of really took a break from the tournament scene. Been getting back to fun, no pressure, going out with friends. I thought I was actually hoping to have one of my buddies out here today, so it'd be easier to film this. So
uh, he 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 wasn't able to join you today or no?
no, the cold shied away a lot of people because it's been really cold up here lately. When I woke up this morning, it was -2, and then we're probably right around 10 or 12 degrees right now. The high for today is only supposed to be 20. So
Oh,
a lot of guys were staying off the ice, staying in, staying warm.
Yeah,
So,
that's what we have to do here in the Florida, man. That's if it's too 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 too, too cold out there. It's like we don't want to go outside. We want to stay inside the house. You know.
oh yeah, no, you Florida people ain't used to this cold. I mean, we don't really have all that much of an option. I mean, a lot of people don't even like coming out in the winter, but I've always enjoyed fishing. I fish year round. I hunt just about everything. I fish for everything, and there's little red ear sunfish. But I'm always outside. I work outside. I got the right clothing. Um, a little shaky now because my hands are getting cold, but it'll be all right.
Okay. Um,
Oh yeah.
be careful out there, man. We don't want you to get one of those frost bite.
Oh no, I know my limits. That's like the suit that I'm wearing. I was actually sweating on the way out here. I took my coat off. This thing is super warm. It actually floats in case if I do go through, which I won't be going through today. There's plenty of ice. I mean, you could drive a small car out here if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
But
Um. So what other what other fish do you like to catch in those competitions that you enter?
oh, I fish. I've done a couple walleye tournaments on Lake Erie with one of my buddies. Trolling's not really my cup of tea. Um, I think it's kind of boring. You'll see even like when I'm ice fishing, I'm running around. I don't use the shanty. They slow me down. Um, competition wise, ice fishing's about really the only thing that I stay competitive with. But fishing wise, I fish for everything. I mean, Michigan, we're fortunate enough to have just about every freshwater species you can think of to chase. I mean, we go from salmon to steelhead, which are big trout, um, salmon, steelhead, walleye, brown trout, rainbow trout, um, musky fishing. That's one thing I really never got into. I've caught a couple, but yeah, we got plenty of things to fish for here. There's no shortage of fish in Michigan. And oh dang, I thought that was a smaller one. That was a nice one. That'd been really nice to show on the camera. Lost a big one in the hole. Not paying
Let
attention.
uh, let me um so anything else do you want my audience to know about ice fishing
It's
or
cold. No, it's a good time. I mean, it's something to do in the winter time. The fish actually taste better in the winter. Cold water, they're firmer, less fishy tasting. Um, right now, this time of day, it's usually generally slower. Right about afternoon, the afternoon bite is the best time besides the morning. Right now, I'm just doing a lot of sorting, trying to figure out where the big ones are at. I got a lot of dinks, little tiny ones coming in and hitting it. That one that I lost at the hole is probably about 9 inches, and that was a shell cracker. It's a nice sized bluegill, red ear.
it's soon as you get 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 some fish on the hook. Let us see it,
Oh, I will.
man.
I've been throwing them back. I've been catching a lot of babies, kind of ones I don't want to show off.
Yeah.
But I'll find them. I mean, this lake's really good. It's always been good to me. I usually only come out here a couple times a year. Really conservative on what I take because I do enjoy it, and it does have big fish in it. Got really nice panfish in it. Um, so I mean, they're active, which I'm surprised for time of day. But just a lot of little tiny ones, little bait fish hitting it right now.
You usually, when you go fishing, down here in Florida, you have to have a license to fish down here.
Oh yeah, so do we. You got to have a fishing license. DNR, they're on top of that. That's the first thing they ask for when they come out and check you is for your license and how many fish you got. And that's like the bucket that I'm sitting on. That's what we do in Michigan is we keep our fish in buckets when we're ice fishing.
And
Get a little better one.
and there's a lot of cool places to
There's a
to
We're getting a little bit bigger now.
to go. There's a lot of cool places to go fish in Florida. You know.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I want to come down and do some fishing down there. I've only fished Florida when I was younger, just off piers, and
If
always actually want to.
if you if you go down if you go down to if you go down to the Keys, there's a lot of good 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 fish down there.
Oh yeah, that's on my bucket list. I'd love to go down there just to see it, and then also experience some fishing. Always wanted to go down there and check it out. Never done it, and if I make it down there, you'll be my first call saying, "Where do I go? What do I do? Come on, let's go."
We 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 always need a lot of fishing people like you to you know tell us all about fishing, man. You are awesome.
Thanks, man. Well, it's something I've always done. I've always enjoyed it. It beats sitting inside. I've never really been one to sit inside too much. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I've always been running around outside doing something. Uh,
Yep.
but
Um, is there are you having any luck with some fish yet?
oh
Mm.
yeah, I've been catching them the whole time we're talking. Nothing to really show off. I showed off one. It was about 6.5, 7 inches. It was nothing crazy. Um, so I mean, like I said, it's the midday bite. The little ones are active. Just got to move around and find the big dogs, figure out where they're at. But I'll get them. There's some big fish in here. Oh, look at that monster perch, buddy! Monster perch. Kidding. It's like 3 inches long. I'm surprised that little guy came that far off the bottom. That's pike bait right there.
I'm I'm sorry, man. Repeat that again.
Oh, I was kidding. I said monster perch, but it was actually tiny, and then I called it pike bait. I'm surprised he came that far off the bottom. Usually those little perch, they got to hide towards the bottom, or something big is going to come and eat them.
Oh, okay. Um, you see down down here in Florida, it 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 depends on the time time of the year. You know where where you want to go fishing at. You know,
Oh yeah.
you can you can get a lot of cool fish if you have have the have the right rate.
Oh yeah, no, I've always wanted to come down there. I mean, you guys got totally different fish than what we have up here. I mean, I've always wanted to come down there and experience it. You know, all the fish I catch up here. I wouldn't say I get bored because I still go out and chase them, but you know, it's the same fish day in and day out. It'd be kind of cool to go down there and experience some saltwater fishing, because everything up here is freshwater.
Because I've been watching a lot of fish a lot of fishing shows on TV,
Yeah,
you know, and you know they 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 teach they teach you a little bit about different different areas to fish and stuff like that.
yeah. No, I do. Do a lot of. I watch a lot of fishing shows, a lot of hunting shows. It's always cool to see what other states have to offer. Um, you know, especially down there, like I said. I mean, you guys, it's just a whole different world of fishing than what I'm used to. And I'm sure sitting on a frozen lake is totally, you know, a lot of people down in Florida be like, man, this guy's crazy. Sitting on a frozen lake, sitting on a bucket, trying to catch bait fish, you know.
So 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 what if 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 people don't know what kind of bait to use to ice fish, um what what kind of bait do they need to use?
It's like I was showing earlier, this little tiny little grub, it's actually fly larvae. They call them spikes up here. They're super tiny. We fish really, ice fishing is a really finesse style of fishing, the jigging and everything. We downsize everything in the winter. We go microscopic. Like my jig that I'm using is a 2.5 millimeter jig, which is super tiny. We tip it with little larvae, like the one I showed you is a spike. A lot of people fan favorite are wax worms. They're bigger, but they're not as hardy. I mean, usually with these spikes, you put two of them on your hook, you could probably catch 10 fish off them too. Versus a wax worm,
Um,
you'll probably get a couple fish. And then minnows, depending on what you're going for. If you're chasing perch, crappie do somewhat favor minnows over the grubs. So I mean, it just depends species to species. You know, minnows, little tiny worms. We don't use night crawlers through the ice. They're not a crowd favorite in the wintertime. And then there's also plastics, just like bass fishing, but they're microscopic. You know, we downsize everything in the winter real small and then slow everything down. The fish, you know, generally are a little slower, but not by much. I mean, if they're on the feed, they're coming up just smacking it.
I you know when when you come to Florida, we need to definitely hey, hey hang out, man.
Oh, for sure, man. I go down to Florida. You're the first person I'm calling. And then we're figuring out where we're going fishing. We'll get a charter or something, go out and check it out. I want to see what Florida's got to offer. It's totally different than here.
Um, I'm just telling you what what I what I learned from all those fish fishing shows that I watch on TV. So,
Yeah, no, I mean, shoot, you already know more than I do. I mean, Yeah, I come down there. We'll figure something out. We'll definitely do some fishing. And if I'm going out of state somewhere, I'm fishing or hunting something. And it'd be kind of cool to go down to Florida, see you do some fishing, maybe get a few of the people together and do a little fishing. I think it'd be a good time.
Well, um, let's let's just 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 wait and see if you actually catch a
Yeah, I'm looking for them big
fish.
reddiers so I can show it off. It's I'm gonna pop some holes. I'm gonna stick it in my pocket real quick because I need both hands to cut, and then
Okay.
I'll still be able to hear you and talk to you. This thing's not loud or anything, but I've already drilled about 30 holes. I've only checked about a dozen so far since we've been on the phone. I'm gonna try a little shallower, get right on the edge of the weeds, see if anything's hiding in there. The sun is high, so that's usually when pike are cruising around eating up all the little fish and getting them all spooky. Oh yeah, I found the weeds right there. You still there?
Yeah.
All right, man. I don't know if I lost you. Yeah, I'll show you. You see all my whoops? Wrong way. I don't know how to work this thing.
So how 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 many holes on the ice do you actually d- d- drill?
So you'll see like my foot tracks stomping through all the snow. There was already some guys out here probably in the last few days, but I mean, so far I've already drilled probably about 30 or 40. And I'll go around and I'll check each one with my sonar, see what's going on with thing out. I'll drop my sonar down and see what's going on underneath the ice, see if I can see fish with it, or even just see some weeds. And because like I said, with the sun being high right now, good chances are that the crappie and the big gills will be hiding out right on the weed edge. That way they don't become a pike snack. A little too high a weed. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I do. Flip the camera around again. Walk around with my sonar. That's called the transducer at the bottom. That's what reads everything.
Oh,
Then I'll look at my screen.
those those so sonars are like little com, computers that tell
Oh yeah,
you where
yeah.
the
They're little computers. They'll
fish
show you what's going
is
on under.
away. Okay. and and now we are live with tape two
Round two, man.
of our ice fishing show. Again, let's pick up where we left off. So 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 catch us up to speed what you was talking about before your phone kind of crapped out on you.
Yeah, no, it's bitter cold up here in Michigan today. It was about 8 degrees when we were recording, and my phone dropped charge in the middle of it. That's how cold it was. But I mean, I was just in the middle wandering around on the ice trying to find some decent fish, and if my phone didn't die or shut down on me, I would have had some good footage. I got into quite a few. I caught a lot of fish, a lot of sorting. I ended up coming home with 15 keepers. I caught a good amount of crappies, red ear sunfish, and bluegills. And I mean, I got a few of them right here. I mean, it's like one of the decent crappies right here. Nothing massive, but they're good eaters. I got
That's a that's a beautiful fish, man.
thanks, man. I was pretty proud of it. I had a couple break me off. I mean, it was a tough day. It was brutal out there. I mean, it was really cold. Uh, like I said, I've never had my phone just shut off on me like that before. But here, I'll even show you one of the red ears I got, which if I can grip it.
It must have been
And that's one of the
really.
red ear. It's one of the red ears.
Oh, okay.
So
So did you have a good, decent day on the ice fishing?
oh yeah, it sure beat sitting on the couch. I don't know. I mean, it was brutally cold. But other than that, it was a fun time. Caught a lot of fish. I wish my phone didn't die on me, and then we could have got some on video.
So sorry about the the, the technical issues, guys. We tried to do this earlier, but his phone crapped out on him because it it was so cold up there in Michigan that his phone kind of shut down.
Yeah, the phone froze solid. Batteries don't like the cold that well.
So sorry about that, guys. So we're trying to pick up where we left off. What were you saying about those fish when you was out there on the ice earlier?
Yeah, that's when we started recording. It was kind of midday, and that's always a harder time to catch them. I mean, I started getting into the bigger ones in more numbers as the night went on. So it's usually the last couple hours, 2 hours of daylight. It's about the best time to get after them. When we first started recording, it was pretty early in the day. I mean, I was catching fish, but they're all tiny, and then started getting into some decent ones as the time went on. But my phone was dead. It kind of
Yeah.
sucked, but
Um. And now catch catch us up on what you was
that's
what,
that's the bucket of them right there. I got about half a 5 gallon bucket full. Uh,
catch catch us up about what you were saying before your phone died.
Honestly, man, I don't remember exactly what I was rambling about. I mean, I was just kind of trying to hop around, find the edge of the weeds, uh,
Yeah.
because panfish, they like to hide on the weed cover, and it gives them structure. It's safe for them, so that way they don't have to worry about getting eaten by a bigger fish. And especially that lake in particular, is they usually hang out right on the very edge of the weeds. As I ventured out into deeper water, I was catching nothing but really tiny perch and tiny bluegills. But when I was hugging towards the structure, that's where I was finding bigger fish, more aggressive fish. So when we were on the phone, I was just literally walking around, just trying to figure out exactly where they're at and dial them in.
And I and like you say, I didn't know if I didn't know if I didn't know if we had lost the call. I didn't know what had happened. So,
Oh yeah, no, I made sure my phone was totally charged. That lake does have good service, but like I said, it was so bitter cold out there today. My phone went from 100% to dead while we were
oh,
recording, and then I
oh,
had to shove it down in my pockets to warm it up. And then when it did turn back on, I messaged you a couple times. It was at like 10%. And then as it got warmer, I got up to about 60. But then if I would have kept it outside of my pockets, it would just freeze again and drop charge.
okay.
So that'll let you know how cold it is up here, where it'll kill your phone at 100%.
You know what? I don't want my phone to get frozen over because I need that phone.
Oh, yeah.
Uh, so, anything else that you want to fill our audience in on about fishing, about ice fishing, or whatever? This this is an ice fishing show.
Oh, yeah. No,
Uh,
I wanted to go over more of it. I mean, especially when it comes to ice fishing, the number one thing is safety. Uh, there's different techniques that we use to check ice. We use these things called spud bars, which they're big bars that you hit the ice with, and you want to
yeah,
give it a good couple, 2, 3 whacks. And if it doesn't go through, you're good. And then we also carry ice picks usually around our shoulders. So if you do end up going through, you can crawl yourself out. And I mean, that's definitely the number one thing is safety out there. You don't want to just. What's that?
and and like I was saying earlier, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
You
you're good.
know, I've been watching those those fishing shows on TV, like I said earlier in the first video that we did earlier. Um, they 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 say in some certain areas, you know, they you fish at, you know, there's 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 usually some 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 great fish fish out there. So
Yeah, no, you just got to be safe. I mean, no matter what. And then, watching videos, they'll definitely help. I mean, I do. I grew up reading more than anything, grabbing magazines, and, it was before the internet really took off. And then I know a lot of people follow YouTube and all that stuff. And
I the name of the show is called uh, uh, Florida fishing report, you know.
yeah, no, you'll have to send me a link on Messenger or something. I'll check it out.
Um, it's it comes on TV here. I
Oh,
don't.
gotcha. All right. I didn't know if it was online or something.
It's it's called for the Florida fishing report that that all these guys cover different areas with different areas to catch fish. You know what I mean. You know what I mean, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. They just do reports in different areas and see what everybody's catching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's fishing reports. We stay on top of those. I mean, they usually post them online here in Michigan and gives you a rough idea, what area people are, what they're catching, how the conditions are.
Yep. So um so so main so mainly, as you were saying earlier, buddy, you like to what kind of fish do you like to catch, or what kind of kind of bait do you catch with? So my audience that don't know about ice fishing, you know, what kind of bait, if they do they need to use?
Yeah, we went over it a little bit. I mean, I showed the little tiny spikes. We put them on little tiny jigs, and spikes are just little fly larvae. We also use wax worms, minnows, plastic baits that, they're just real, everything's real tiny in the winter. We use really small stuff. And if you're ever out, make it up to Michigan, stop in any local bait shop, sporting goods store, anybody will be able to point you in the right direction. But the main thing I use is spikes, the wax worms, and that's about it.
Or if you need anybody that knows about ice fishing, um, see see my see my best best friend Justin up in Mi- Michigan. He will he will he will show you how to do it if you guys don't know how to do it.
Oh yeah, no. Anybody's got any questions? Shoot me a message. I mean, I'm more than willing to help. I mean, especially if you end up here and you're around my neck of the woods. I mean, I'll point you in the right direction and help out as much as possible.
Um 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 I, is ice fishing hard? Um
The hardest part is staying warm. Other than that, I mean, catching the fish. I mean, it's not super hard. I mean, like I said, we're going after panfish for the most part. I mean, that's the only time of year I chase small fish. But
I'm I'm trying to remember the questions that I asked you earlier.
you're on top of it, man. I mean, you're one heck of a host. I mean, you're firing off questions left and right, and you're on, really on top of it for never ice fishing. I mean, you're definitely asking all the right questions. I think you
Um
did a hell of a job in that first video for sure.
I'm 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 trying to do do a better job the second time around.
Hey,
Uh,
man, you did an excellent job the first time. If it wasn't so cold out, my phone wouldn't have dropped charge. So I mean, we had some technical issues and made the best of it.
yeah. Um, do you want to give a shout out to one of your sponsors?
Really, my biggest one is Sportsman Direct. It's a bait shop and sporting goods store over towards Lake St. Clair. So if you ever end up that way, tell them I sent you. I mean, they've been real good to me. They've supported me for years, and you know, that's about really it when it comes to ice fishing.
Do you want to see if you can try and get the disability TV network some sponsors
I'll do
or
any I'll do anything I can for you, man. I'll reach out to some people, see what I can do.
because I don't have very much money, man. I'm I'm limited, you know.
Oh yeah, no, I hear you, man. I know how that goes. I mean, I think you're doing one heck of a job with your show as it is, and just keep on doing what you're doing, man.
Um, if anybody wants, they can follow me on my YouTube channel. Um, or you can follow my buddy J- J- Justin here. He may not have the big followers like I have, but
Hey, man, everybody follow you. Keep supporting Alex, and that'll be enough for me. I mean, if anybody wants to follow me, that's fine. But I don't do. This is like my first show, first web show, so I was pretty excited to be on it with you, and I'm doing it for you, pal. I mean, getting it out there, getting some other things going. You know, it'd be
I'm
kind of cool.
I'm sorry that we haven't haven't got, got that shirt out to you yet, but eventually.
Oh no, I get it. I mean, even today, you saw how bundled up I was on the ice. You wouldn't have been able to see it. It was brutal out there. I mean, I ice fish in every conditions. I fish and hunt in every condition, and today was not a comfortable day by any means. I mean,
Uh,
yeah, the wind was down and the sun was out, but it was still really cold out there today.
if you mind, do you mind going back on what you said earlier? How many competitions have you competed in? Do you remember?
Oh, a ton of them, man. I can't put a number on it. I mean, I've been fishing tournaments. I for a while there, we hit quite a bit of tournaments. We were fishing 2 a weekend for about, I don't know, 3 4 years. I've been fishing local tournaments for every bit of 10 years. We started doing more series tournaments instead of derbies. We fished a couple national events. I mean, I've been competing ice fishing for quite some time.
Um, and you do one heck of a job, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the kind words.
You've been doing this ever since you were little, man. So you're just amazing, and um, so what made you want to fish? Have that the 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 this this desire to um get out on the ice and fish. Do you have any idols that made you want to fish when you were go, going when you were go, going up? Um,
Yeah, I mean, ice fishing, it was just something to do in the winter. I've always loved fishing since I was a kid. I always wanted to grow up and be a bass fisherman. Kevin Van Dam was always, my idol growing up. And then I grew out of the bass fishing. And then ice fishing, I actually had one guy that I was really close to. His name was Dave Young. He just passed away a few weeks ago. And he kind of took me under his wing and pushed me to get more serious with tournaments. He was one of the top guys in the whole world. And, that was really the guy that pushed me to get competitive.
Did your mom have anything to do with that when you were going up, or?
Oh yeah, I mean she don't fish. I mean she runs the other way when she sees flopping fish or dead animals. But I mean she would go get me bait and drive me places and stuff like that. So
and and shout out to Miss to um to my friend that came down here to see me in Florida. It was so great. Shout out to her. Uh, she's the best. She's the best friend of mine, and shout out to John Stone and Benny.
oh yeah, if it wasn't for all them, man, we would have never met.
Yep. So how did we met? If you don't mind telling my audience.
We met at the Stoneroo, man. We met at John Stone's ranch. And they had a big old concert down there, and you were drumming away, and saw you in the crowd, and we started talking, and we've been friends ever since.
Yep. And this guy, guys, it's so amazing. I look up to him. He's like my brother from another murder, and he's a great guy, man. I love his energy,
Man,
guys.
you're making me blush over here, dude.
That's 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 what the friends do.
No, I hear you, man. I mean, I can say the same about you. You're one hell of a dude. You're real genuine. I mean, we connected instantly, man. I mean, we'll be friends forever.
Yep. Um. And no matter and no matter the disability, man, I'm just gonna keep on doing what I'm doing no matter what.
All right, man. Don't let that slow you down. You keep doing you, man. Keep on trucking.
I would love to do some more ice fishing shows if you're available.
Yeah, we'll have to see what's going on with this weather. We need a little bit of a warmer temps out because when it's below 10 degrees, these batteries on these phones don't like it too much.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean we'll have to wait until it gets around like I don't know 35, 40 degrees. I'll be out there in a t-shirt at that point.
What you will be walking the Alex Boys show shirt.
Oh yeah, no, I'll have it for the next one. That's for sure. I mean, like I said, I didn't get a chance to meet up with my mom before the show today. So, but I know that shirt's waiting for me, and I can't wait to wear it and support you, buddy.
So so if if a if a person wants to to get sponsored like me, especially with your sponsors, what do they need to do?
I mean,
For a person that don't have very much money like me.
oh, I know. I mean, that's like my guys. They're not really sponsors. I mean, I pro staff for them. I promote their business. They hook me up with a discount. I mean, they're not paying me or nothing. I mean, they hook me up with gear, test some stuff out, and then also give me a discount on stuff. So I mean,
But but see what you can do, you know.
oh yeah, I'll
I
help you out any way I can, man. I'll put some feelers out there.
I don't know if they would go for this type of content, but you know, it's worth a shot, you know.
Yeah, no, it's worth a shot anyway. I mean, you and I will talk about it. I'll try and help you out. I mean, when we're not on here, I mean, we have a little talk and we can find you some support or something.
Yeah, because a lot of companies that reach out to on Facebook, all they want is is money.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about, man. But I mean, that's I mean, I could probably give you some insight. I mean, like I said, I'm not sponsored, but I mean, I know how most of it works, and we can talk privately about it, and then just go from there.
You can probably PM me about that,
Yeah,
or or call me privately, and
yeah, no,
we'll.
I mean that's usually how you discuss stuff like that. I mean, you just go from there, see what's up, see what angles, what companies you're interested in, and just see how it goes.
Okay, because you know, I would like to to get on with a couple companies uh that that want to to sponsor me
Yeah,
if they're not money hungry, you know.
yeah, yeah. No, that's the sponsor stuff though. That's usually all private talk, between you and them, and then whoever you're trying to target.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that off camera. But
Oh yeah,
I just wanted to bring a little bit more topic about um about fishing, and about sponsors.
yeah, yeah. Just get as much content out there as you can. I mean, that's the best way to do it. You get noticed more with the more content you put out there. I mean, I've never done it, but that's what I gather from it. I mean, I know people that have YouTube channels and all that stuff, and they just pump content out, and then people support them. I guess I'm kind of new to all this webcast and videos and all that stuff.
I've been trying to pump out content ever since I started this little in Denver. I started back in 2008,
Man, you've been
and
at it for a while.
I'm still going strong, baby.
Yeah, I just figured out how to use YouTube like a month ago, man. So I mean, I'm a pretty low tech guy. I don't mess with the stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Um. Um. Hey, can you reach out to Benny to see
Yeah,
what to get him on my show?
yeah, man.
I
I'll hit them up for you.
I've been I don't know he never did call me. I don't know
Well, if
what.
that's the case, I'm gonna have some words with that boy.
Yeah,
I'll have to tune him up for you.
yeah. Um, I know he's a busy guy.
No, he
So is
definitely is.
John Stone. But shout out to my buddy John Stone and the Trailer Park All Stars. Man, they are they are badass.
Oh yeah, yeah. They just played tonight. They got off the stage about 2 hours ago their time, something like that.
Yeah,
It was him and Benny and the Trailer Park All Stars were playing tonight at Kid Rock's.
and John Stone is a amazing, guy. He's he's got that good sense of humor, and he likes to to help kids like me that has um a disability like me. He he he's he's one cool dude. I'll tell you that much.
Hey man, that's one of your homies right there. He came down and uh congratulated you. What, your 30th birthday was it?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, he came down to do that. You're just one of his fans, man. So you're a lucky guy. He came down and wished you a happy birthday. You know, that's the whole Stone family. Everybody's got a heart of gold in that family.
And he's a he's a cool guy, and I love him, and I love you too
Love you too, brother.
for being on my show today. You're one heck of a guy,
Thanks for having me. It was my pleasure, man.
and thanks for sticking out with me during the technical issues.
Oh, not a
I
problem, man.
I really appreciate it. So you're welcome to come back on my show again if you have time.
Oh, I'll definitely be back on. I mean, especially when it gets a little warmer, because I had a feeling. I mean, I never had my phone outside exposed that long when it was that cold. But I figured it'd have been good, and then next thing you know, it just cut right out. So I mean, when it gets a little warmer, we'll have to do something else, and then I'll have a little more understanding how to film and all that, because I mean it was kind of hard with just the phone and headphones in and trying to fish both hands and all that stuff. But I mean, made the best of it. We'll do it again.
Okay, okay. Thank you for coming on again, and I'll uh um talk to you again soon, man. It was fun. We have to do it again sometime.
Oh, we'll definitely do it again. Thanks for having me on, man. I had a blast.
And and this and this and this con- concludes our interview with Justin. What is your last name? Justin.
Gafford.
This concludes our interview with Justin Gafford. He was talking about ice fishing today, and join us again next time as we try and do this again. Hopefully, the second time it'll go out smoothly as we planned, but we tried. Uh, Bye, guys. and the God bless.
Thanks for having me. We'll see you, buddy. We'll be talking.
Okay.
All right, see you, brother.
Thanks,
No
man.
problem. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Later.